Hold on, B. We gonna get this work.
Shalom. I want to start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Manatazak with GMS Ancient of Days in Los Angeles, currently teaching with the Akim in Sherman Oaks, and today through the Spirit I want to get into a lesson that's titled Victory Over the Beast. Okay, now when I say victory over the beast, I'm talking about the ultimate victory of being delivered from this system and being changed into righteous immortals upon the second coming of who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, whose name is Yahweh Shai. Okay, and that victory is the victory that's going to be had by the Israelites. Okay, the true Israelites pursuing the scripture and pursuing the prophecy, which today are identified primarily as you so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. This is not excluding the Israelite foreigners who are scattered amongst the other nations. Okay, they are the speckled bird that's going to come back into the fold in these last days, looking like these other nations and speaking the languages of the nations they've been scattered to. But if the Spirit bears witness with their spirit, the doctrine of the apostles, and the understanding and belief in Yahweh Shem Shai, then regardless of what you look like and what language you speak, you too are an Israelite. Okay? Now you see what's going on all across the world as we've officially entered World War III. Okay? With the U.S. and Israel joining forces to attack Iran. Okay? Things are heating up. Okay? There's been a lot of missile attacks, hypersonic missile attacks, drone attacks. Okay? And there's talks of T attacks supposedly going to be happening on American soil for retaliation of America taking out Iran's supreme leader. So things are ramping up very quickly, and this is all on the cusp of the Passat, which is coming up in about a month, which signals, you know, one of the important high holy days for us Israelites, but also the beginning of the new year. Okay, so through the Spirit, what inspired me to do this lesson, Victory Over the Beast, is to show you that the Israelites are ultimately going to have victory when it's all said and done. Okay, regardless of how things look and how things seem, at the end of the day, prophecy has already been written. Esau, Edom is going to lose, and the Israelites are going to be the ones to take the reins of power. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. We're going to begin in the book of Revelation, chapter 15, verse 2. Revelation 15 and 2, and it reads, "And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire." Okay? "And them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High." Okay, now this is a beautiful scripture, because this is a future prophecy about those that are redeemed, okay, from the trials, tribulations, chastisements, okay, ultimately the elect, when they are beamed up, okay, into that fathership, they're going to be able to see the destruction of Babylon the Great, America, okay, from the chariot. Okay, when it says a sea of glass mingled with fire, okay, it's the elect looking down, okay, on the missile explosions from the nukes and the ICBMs and the chariot fire reflected off of the firmament. Okay, that's what this is speaking about. All right, but the reason I started with this is that it specifically says that these are those that had gotten the victory over the beast. Okay, this is what we're hoping for. This is what we're fighting for these final prophecies to be fulfilled. Okay, this is the elect, the remnant, the 144,000. Okay, and the 1/3 that ultimately refuse the charagma. And the reason I'm bringing this out is because until the MOTB is made official and made mandatory, okay, we're not going to get out of here. As exciting as it is to see that we finally engaged in open war with Iran, which is a major biblical prophecy, we still need to wait for the MOTB to be instituted, which through the Spirit can happen at any day now. Because this dollar, this FRN, this monetary system, the current global currency, is devalued day by day. Okay, and we're already in a debt-based system, so it's not going to take much to officially crash this place. Okay, the elites have been kicking the proverbial can down the road for so long, it's eventually going to hit a brick wall. Okay, and this system is eventually going to crash, and that digital system is going to be instituted. Okay, and with the engagement of this war in Iran, we're hoping, Lord willing, that it happens soon. And we know, pursuing the prophecy, that it must needs take place. Okay, so with that being said, this goes to show that when it's all said and done, okay, victory for the elect is not going to be by a carnal sword, but it's going to be by a spiritual separation. Okay, because this victory was already predestined. Okay, and we don't need to lift up sword or spear. Okay, the Lord is going to fight his battles for us, and he's literally going to deliver us out of this captivity. Okay, the elect, they're the ones that are going to overcome the beast system. Okay, and for those of you that don't know, the beast system is the revived Roman Empire and the different, modern day Western powers and rulership. Okay, we're in the last captivity of the heathen. Okay, let's get Revelation chapter 14, beginning at verse 9. Okay, and it reads, "And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand." Okay, now that mark, once again, as I mentioned earlier, is a charagma, which is something that's the Greek word for mark, which is something that's imprinted or something that's carved in the skin, showing you that this is something physical that you're going to have to take. All right. It says, "If any man worship the beast in an image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand," it says, "the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb." Now, we just read that we're going to watch this place burn. Okay, that lake of fire, the sea of glass mingled with fire. That's us, and I say us, humbly speaking, looking down on America burning from the chariot. Okay, Yahushua is going to be there with the angels and with the elect, looking down at this place burn, with not only the wicked, but with the 2/3 Israelites that didn't want to get with the program. Okay, they're going to take place in that judgment as well. Okay, so the warning has already gone out. Okay, before the ultimate judgment, which is nigh upon us, the apostles, the elders, and the men on down, we have warned you of what's to come, and now it's starting to play out. Okay, but this is going to show you that the mark is a literal implant tied to economic control, and when you take it, you're basically pledging allegiance to the beast system. Okay, we're fighting to have victory over the beast system, and that begins with refusing conformity. Okay, even under the economic pressure that we're all going to go through. Are you going to trust in Esau Edom? Are you going to trust in Egypt? Or are you going to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushai? Okay, because that's the times that we're coming into, where our faith is going to be put to the test. Okay, and this is what we're preparing for spiritually. Okay, for these times ahead. Let's get Revelations 13, beginning of verse 16. And this mirrors what we just read. It says, "And he calleth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark." That same word mark is charagma. Okay, in their right hand or in their forehead. Okay, it says, "And that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name." Okay, now we broke this down plenty of times before. That this goes into the actual creator. I'll read verse 18. It says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now in the Greek, that's chi stai sigma. Okay, 666 or 666. But it says, "For it is the number of a man." This is literal. This was an actual man that created the universal product code. Okay, and his name was George Joseph Lawyer. George has 6 letters, Joseph has 6 letters, and Lawyer has 6 letters. Okay, he created a universal product code. When you go to the store and you scan your goods to buy it, when you look at that barcode, the first bar, the middle bar, and the last bar is always represented as a 6. No matter what you buy, whether it be at a grocery store, at a convenience store, a retail store, a liquor store, he created that universal product code, and that's what's going to be put in the MOTB. Okay, that's going to be put under your skin in that chip, that microchip. Okay, and if you don't have that, you're not going to be a part of society. Okay, this is totalitarian control. No buying or selling. This is the final squeeze. Okay, this is what we're waiting for. When the beast system demands absolute loyalty, and it's going to have to come from a conscious decision. Okay, and ultimately, victory means trusting in divine provision. Okay, instead of the system meant to control us. Okay, and the elect, they're going to endure scarcity rather than compromise. It's not going to be easy, but it's already been written that the Lord is going to take care of us. The question remains whether you believe that or not. Because if it's written, that means it shall come to pass. Okay, let's jump to Revelation 17, verse 14. Okay, and this is going to the victory of the Lamb, Yahushai. It says, "These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the Lord of lords and the King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful." Okay, so this is the beast. The beast is going to make war against the returning Messiah, Yahushai. There was even a report coming out from the military that this war in Iran is being ushered in by Donald Trump to help bring Armageddon and the return of Christ, in their words. Okay, which is interesting because that's Bible prophecy. That war with Iran will indeed bring about the second coming of Yahushua HaMashiach, which only validates the things that we here at Great Millstone have been preaching time again and time again. Okay, now as Apostle Gabar says, repetition is the father of skill, but now it's starting to play out before your very eyes. Now everyone's starting to see it and starting to put the pieces together. Okay, the scriptures say that our salvation is nearer than we believe, and Lord willing, we could be out of here in this year, or maybe early next year. I mean, that's part of hastening the coming. We don't exactly know, but when we see these major prophecies take place, we know that indeed the time is short. Okay, because we believe the words and the prophecies that are written. Okay, and ultimately the Lamb is going to overcome. It's going to be a flawless victory. Yahushua and the angels, they're going to make quick work, okay, of the opposition that comes against them. Okay, make no mistake. Okay, victory is not democratic reform. Okay, it's divine intervention. Period. Okay, the kingdom of this world, okay, are dismantled by the forces from heaven when they actually meet in the skies. They're not going to stand a chance in hell. This isn't like War of the Worlds or Independence Day. Yahushua and the angels are going to make quick riddance of the defenses and the military and the weapons of this world. They're coming with technology and instrumentation and vehicles from another dimension, powered by the Spirit of the Heavenly Father. The scriptures specifically say that this place is going to go down in 1 hour. Okay? This is what the scriptures tell us. And don't get it twisted, okay? Because when it comes to salvation, salvation is national and covenantal, okay? It's not universal. It's only for the Israelites, beginning with the elect, okay? Let's get Revelations 20:4. And it reads, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of the Most High, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years." Okay, now this is one of those comfort scriptures. And the reason I say that is because people will read this, or believers will read this and get nervous about the beheadings. that are prophesied to take place. Now, true indeed, this took place in the ancient world, but this is also going to take place in present times. Okay? But martyrdom is not defeat. Okay? Didn't the scriptures say that precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints? Okay? There's no greater honor than to give your life for your brother or for this word. Even though, us in this truth and doing this work would like to see things into the end, we don't know how our story is going to end. We just hope that we go honorably, and when it's all said and done, the Lord finds favor in us and delivers us. Okay? So, once again, I have to say it again. Some of us are going to be beheaded. But the scriptures also say that there's going to be some of us that shall not taste death. So martyrdom, once again, is not defeat. Those who refuse, allegiance, even unto death, are going to reign with a Mashiach. Okay? Victory is measured eternally. Okay, so Esau Edom, when he comes down upon us and captures us, or however we're hemmed up, okay, he may kill the body. Okay, but rulership follows resurrection. Okay? Because ultimately our spirits belong to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. We should take great comfort in that. All right? Let's get 2nd Esdras 11 in the Apocrypha. 2nd Esdras chapter 11. Okay, and I'll begin at verse 34. Okay, and it reads, "But there remained the 2 heads, which also in like sort ruled upon the earth and over those that dwelt therein. And I beheld, and lo, the head upon the right side devoured it that was upon the left side. Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were, a roaring lion chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle, and said, Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the 4 beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? So this is going to the new Roman Empire, America, right? Continuing on, it says, And the 4th came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with their fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth. For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Okay, this is the epitome of Esau Edom right here. Okay, continuing on, it says, Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. So their wickedness has reached all the way to the heavens, and their judgment is sealed. Continuing on, it says, The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. So there's a said time and measure Esau Edom has to rule and to continue in his wickedness. And after that, it's curtain closed. There is no encore. Continuing on, it says, And therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body. And remember, Esau Edom is characterized by the eagle, further showing you that this is representing him. Verse 46, it says, That all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Okay, this is beautiful. Okay, the eagle, okay, is the last empire, which is America, and this is linked symbolically to Rome and extended to the modern Western power structures. Okay, the lion represents the Messiah, Yahweh Shai, rising out of Judah. Okay, and the rebuke is direct judgment that we just read. Okay, the empire falls not gradually, but suddenly, and victory is swift and irreversible. Okay, Esau is the end of the world, the end of a rulership, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? Let's get 2 Ezra chapter 12, beginning at verse 31. And it reads, "And the lion whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring and speaking to the eagle and rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all the words which thou hast heard, this is the anointed," right? This is Yahushua, which the highest hath kept for them and for their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them and shall upbraid them with their cruelty. And where do we see an example of this at? Isaiah the 63rd chapter. Who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? When Yahushua returns, he's coming for blood. He's coming for vengeance. He's coming for destruction, and he's coming for deliverance. Verse 33, "For he shall set them before him alive in judgment, and shall rebuke them and correct them. For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy, those that have been preserved upon my borders. And he shall make them joyful until the coming of the day of judgment, wherefore I have spoken unto thee from the beginning." And this is what we're waiting for, to be delivered, okay, and freed and loosed from this captivity. Okay, and we are in the times of that now. Okay, let's get let's see. Let's get Daniel 7. Okay, because everything we're reading is about the eventual destruction of Esau Edom. Okay, the beast's reign is appointed and limited. Okay, he's not going to have a perpetual rulership. Okay, once his said measure is fulfilled, destruction is going to follow. And as I said earlier, okay, prophecy is playing out in sequence, and the present rulership, okay, is nearing its end. And the why do you how about Shem Shai for that? Because the Israelites are going to rule once Esau Edom is taken down, and we are witnessing the downfall of this present temporal evil world, as the brother from Chicago beautifully says in his opening lesson, in the opening of his lessons. Let's get Daniel 7:21. It says, "I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them." Okay, this horn is going into Rome, or New Rome, I should say, or America, to be more specific. The saints being the Israelites. Okay, it says, "Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom." Okay, so the Israelites are next to rule. Okay, this little horn, as I said before, is Rome in continuation, or the new Roman Empire. And they're going to persecute the saints, which we see. Everybody on that 12 tribe sign was persecuted by the same nation of people. Okay, but judgment sits. And after that judgment sits, authority shifts. Okay, the saints receive the kingdom, and victory is not immediate, but it is guaranteed. Okay. So dominion transfers from the beast to righteous rule. That's ultimately what it comes down to. When Esau Edom is taken down, when he falls like lightning, he is not going to rise back up to power. That is the end of heathen rulership. Let's get Daniel 2:44. We can close it out with this through the Spirit. Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. And it reads, "And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all the kingdoms, and it shall stand forever." Further proving that Yahweh Shem Shai is only dealing with the Israelites, and the Israelites are the only ones that are going to rule after Esau Edom is taken down. Okay, and this is speaking about, the stone cut without hands. Okay, destroying the statue of the empires. Okay, Yahweh Shai. Okay, he is the one that is going to be set up to establish that everlasting rulership and righteousness after the fall of the beast system. There's going to be no coalition of heathen nations. Okay, no one's going to rise up from the dust and usurp authority over Israel again. Okay, let alone survive the second coming and have the ability to do so. Because when Yahweh Shai comes, he's going to destroy the armies of the world. Okay, so the beast, when I say the beast, and when you hear about the beast, okay, it's not symbolic in like a vague sense. Okay, but it's a concrete geopolitical power structure with economic, military, and spiritual dominance, okay? And that is Babylon the Great, America, the new Roman Empire, okay? And we are witnessing the downfall of this very system, okay? And the victory to come is apocalyptic, okay? And it's apocalyptic and it's total, okay? There's going to be no continuation of these other nations once Yahushua returns. It's going to be a flawless victory. No reform, no coexistence, but a complete replacement, okay, from wickedness to righteousness. So rejoice, ye saints, because we already have victory, and it's soon come. So with that, I want to give all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect who are continuing to fight and teach this thing of ours in truth and sincerity. This has been your brother Manatazak, and until the next lesson, Shalom.